Hello everybody, welcome back to Just the Basics here in Factorio, and little bit of news, I guess, which is the question of, am I going to be upgrading? Because we are currently here running in version 0.16. I think 15, but I title it as .x, and very recently version 0.17 has begun to be in development and available for download and such as a sort of like prototype version. So a lot of people are trying that out, and the question is, do I want to be using that myself? And for at least the purposes of this series, I am actually going to be sticking with 0.16 until such time as 0.17 is the official kind of release. And the reason for that is this is just the basics. It's meant to be showing you off how to do things, or sort of like getting off the ground kind of stuff. So if I switch like four episodes into the series to a whole different version with a whole ton of changes, then it might be confusing for people who are coming along trying to figure out how to play this game at all. So to that end, we are not going to be updating just yet. And we have two jobs to do today. As it starts, we have to put together making of iron gear wheels, which is these, which we've already been making over here, but we want to actually have a section for them down here. We also have to address the biters that are up here. Over here, these biters are going to be getting angry, they're going to be getting very annoyed with us, and we're going to have to be dealing with them, which is why we're currently researching turrets, but it's going to take us a little bit longer to deal with that, and I don't have really much in the way of firearms, and there are actual nests up there, and I don't have access, well, to basically anything. I can make myself a bit of armor, that's about it, really. But I'm expecting that I'm going to go to the north, and I'm going to get probably quite heavily injured, at the very minimum. Maybe I'll just get lucky and they'll leave me alone, for the most part. Who knows? But it does look like we do need probably, yeah, copper into here. Sure, take it all. And what do you want? You want the inserters, which we don't currently have on craft right now, because all we have is that one, so, maybe I'll get lucky and we'll research turrets before I even get up there. This, by the way, with this copper line going all the way across, oh thank god, this is not something we're going to be keeping. We're just keeping it there for the moment because that's where the copper and the iron is, and we're going vertical as opposed to horizontal. Okay, we can now craft gun turrets. It'll take us a hecking long while, but we'll manage it. And the next thing I'm going to do is military, so I can actually have a more meaningful firearm, because heck knows a pistol is not it. In fact, I don't really know I don't think anybody really sticks with the pistol for very long, given the option to not use the pistol. I guess it's very much a dependency upon when you get attacked by the biters and such. But yes, these guys are called biters. They are also known as spitters. And you might be slightly clued in that their naming scheme is relevant to what they do to you. They're also the worms. And if I'm lucky, I will not encounter a worm as I move upwards. But okay, what do I need? I need iron, copper, and gears. Okay. Now, as before, I've noted we're going to be going for at least like 4 belts down here of iron as well, in addition to that. So we're going to be splitting this in between gears and steel. So we need, at the end game, which we are definitely quite a ways off, we want to be having 2 lines full of gears and 2 lines full of steel. So, just as I'm waiting for the military to blessedly save me here, endgame will have access to assembly machine freeze, we'll have access to an abundance of speed module freeze. So, here is our numbers here for completing 2 blue belts worth of iron gear wheels. There's 80 items per second. And that says we're going to need about 10.7 factories working on it. Now, we're going to round that up to about 12. I need those 12 to be taking in 4 belts worth of iron and outputting 2 belts worth of actual products. And that's where our numbers starts to interface with our actual engineering, because we need to try and figure out exactly how we go about doing that and assembling this particular, like, arrangement that we have over here, for instance, with our furnaces. And unfortunately, I can't waffle quite fast enough to see the military be finished. Oh dear. So okay, there's 6 assembly machine 2s that I can make. That's something at the very least. And I'm just gonna continue running up here and making a few more firearms once those are done. Oh dear. Looks like we are just about to make it. We haven't actually been attacked yet, which is kind of a surprise. You tend to get attacked relatively early on. So I might just be in the clear, relatively speaking. Okay, that gives me access to the submachine gun and the shotgun. The shotgun doesn't see much use, at least not from my personal place. It is useful when you're being swarmed, but by the time you're being swarmed, you're either screwed or escaping anyways. Like, it's generally a state of you don't really need to care very much. The submachine gun, though, is your... Oh, that is just beautiful. It is wonderful. It's very handy to have. What does that take? That takes 30 and also takes steel to make, so we're going to be passing on that for the moment, at the very least. And I guess now we put on to... Well, back onto our electric energy distribution, because we are going to need that very rapidly. But okay, we are now able to craft a submachine gun, which is yay. Very yay. And hopefully we'll have gotten to the point of actually having it by the time that I reach up here. You do get vehicles. I'm currently just trotting over at a leisurely jogging pace. But you do get vehicles after a while. And, well, we're going to be probably making a lot of them because I tend to crash them into things. Usually trains. Okay, but yeah, there we are. There is a spawner, biter, and spitter. So I just zoom in via the map here. So here we have biters and here we have spitters. They're very, very similar. We don't seem to have any worms, which is good, because worms fire projectiles that can track you and are very long range, and they're usually quite beefy as well. And these guys, the spawners, are doing this animation because they are currently in the field of an actual pollution, more or less. And these guys are hostile by default, so as soon as I approach them, yeah, I didn't even do anything there and they're attacking me. You can maybe see why I wanted to have the machine gun. The spitters are the ones we mostly want to get rid of, because they have ranged attacks. They're not going to do very much to us with that ranged attack, but it does make them a bit more of a pain when we're trying to actually avoid them dramatically. Oh boy, like right now, in fact. Do I have... Yes, I do. I do not, however, have the capacity as yet to outrun them, so, I just have to hope that... There we go. That I can craft my gun, my bullets fast enough. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, and this is where you start to really want to have... actual... Oh boy. This is where you really start to want to have actual... Oh, don't come after me. Oh, dick. Okay, well, I just have to continue down this way and hope that despite the fact that he's gaining on me, that he gives up by the time we get to base, so that I can hurriedly make more bullets. I don't know that that's going to happen, so he is very, very slowly killing me. Maybe I'll get lucky and he'll at least get caught up on this, this conveyor line. There we go. Grand. Although it's not going to work forever, so, whoop. Bullets. There we go. Hi. I'm going to make a rule of not going anywhere near that place unless I have at least 50 bullets on me. At least these ones actually craft up relatively quickly. Okay, as long as I'm here. As long as I'm here. Let's actually get to work on some of this. So, we're going to start a little bit of a ways away. We don't actually need to be this far away. So we got 3 there, because we know at least 1 of this is going to be that. So at least 1 module of these is going to require 6. We know that from our maths. So let's just label these. These aren't going to be as quick as everything else, but they should be fine. And we know they're going to start about there. And then the next one comes along and we'll actually just splitter that together. And just get rid of that right there by right-clicking. Okay. Now, next thing. We know these require 2 belts of iron either side, because each module requires... Well, the grand total is going to require 4 belts worth of materials, so we need to bear that in mind as well. Just keep a line there so we can actually know exactly where they're going to be, where they're going to go. And we're not hooking them in just yet, but we're keeping them there just so we know. And do I have 50 bullets? No, I don't. So let's make more bullets. We're gonna need quite a bit of bullets just to perform a means of violent de-escalation upon that particular group of biters. Just you know, to take care of them. There really is no positive way to put a spin on dealing with the biters, except that it is self-defense. That's about it. That's the only positivity we can have here. I'm definitely not going to be going after them in the dark, though. So, guess I stick around and make some more stuff over here. Okay, so last time I talked about how we are going to be using this line of 4 belts of iron as our just sort of our restock line, and we're going to be actually taking lines off of here. Now, to do that properly, we are going to require an 8-belt balancer, which is not one that I actually have memorized in the slightest degree, but we're gonna need it. And I can take that off there as well as off here, just because we know where that's gonna be. So, if I ever forget, feel free to yell at me in the comments. There we go. So, the 2 outputs come together and they get balanced so that we can actually have our full selection there. Okay, now, from over here, we need to get 4 belts in. Now, that's not necessarily the easiest of things. We're taking a lot off there, and we also actually have nothing being fed into there at all right now, so yeah, that's a problem as well. Just grab that. And then there'll be a splitter about there, so we want to come across there. And eventually we'll actually have an inordinate abundance of belts, and we won't have to craft them as we go. But part of that starts with actually just having them having the materials. So, yeah, things we have to deal with for right now. There we go. Okay. And let's just clone that so I can get that to the right position across the board. There. Okay. And since this is going to be 4 wide, we are probably going to want to have our actual undergrounds. But for right now, it's really just more novelty to have them than anything else. So we don't have to worry about that too much. We just actually need to get iron into here, and that's going to require a balancer that, again, I don't have on record. I mostly just memorize the 4x4. The 4x4 is pretty much the one that you are going to need the absolute most often. If you can memorize this one and it's relatively simplistic and relatively cheap to make as well, then you're going to be fine for the most things. But in the event that things don't go quite that way, hey, here's a little bit of advice. So clicking that button gets us to the blueprints and the blueprints library. We've already seen what a blueprint does, we've already seen what a deconstruction planner is, and over here I in fact have a book of balancers. But I don't have very many, so I have a 4x4, I have a 6x6, and I have a 12x12, which comes into use mostly in the late game. It's not very common that I use that. But I have no 8x8. So how do we get a new balancer? We can import by a string. So if you go onto various websites, you'll be able to find significantly very lengthy and convoluted strings, just long sentences and such, and you can type them into here or copy them into here more commonly and import them. But we don't have that. So yeah, you can also go into other games, then just copy things you've already placed and put them into here, either in a singular blueprint form or in blueprint book form. Alternatively, you can do what I'm about to do, which is Google it. So here we have an 8x8 balancer. This is a relatively effective design. This is not something I have designed, and apologies, I don't quite recall whom this belongs to, but I will try to quote them and such in the visuals. But yeah, we can see we're going to have this, and we can also see that we're under attack whilst I'm waffling. So let's go see what just got damaged. One, okay, we've had worse things in the world to get damaged. The greater question is, where are they off to now? Right there is where they're off to. Ay, ay, ay. And now I actually need to make repair kits. There you are. I only have enough materials for one repair pack. Jeez. Grab that up there. It's just referring to the same thing. It's just referring to the same thing. It's all good. It's fine. So yeah, that's what happens. If they get angry enough, then they will go. They will come around, and oh boy, we've got some to the south as well. Ugh, they're gonna be such a pain in the neck, especially as we gear things up even further. And that's why we studied the art of the turret, because we're gonna be needing that. But that also requires gears. So here we go. But okay, I'm going to need. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 splitters. And I currently only have the materials for none on me. In addition to already having 3 of them, so we need 9 more. So doop, and there. And then we are also going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 undergrounds. Or 8 undergrounds, to be more specific, because they come in pairs all the time. So doop. Right. I have 56 bullets right now. Well, 56 magazines to be exact. So, we are going onwards to the north whilst all of this crafts up, and we're going to deal with at least something that is apparently now devotedly aggressive to us. These guys up here on the left seem like they're decently docile. They haven't interacted with us yet, but these guys are absolutely inside of our pollution cloud, so we want to take care of them. Again, I wish we had much in the way of an alternative here, but even if we turned off pollution altogether, we would still have trouble. So, yeah, and of course it's going to night already. Aye. And of course this is fully healed up, which it does over time. Oh, for a tank. Actually, scratch that. Oh, for an artillery train, which is something we'll get into later. Dear lord, I started off with 56 magazines. I'm down to 20. Hi. Well, after that dramatic reenacting of a scene from Aliens, that's one less thing that can be attacking us. Now, we don't have any others detected that are inside of our pollution cloud. We are probably going to be hitting this one relatively soon. We are probably going to be hitting this one relatively soon. I hope that the I hope that the gods are kind to us in that regard, but we'll see. At least once we actually have gears being on the belt, it'll be much faster to expand things, and it'll be much faster to start making stuff like turrets. But one thing to keep in mind is that when you're using a turret, their shooting speed is faster than yours. Under most circumstances, especially considering you can upgrade that. You can't really upgrade your own. And that also means that they make better usage of the ammunition that you can give them. But okay. See if I have left enough space down here for this. I'm probably going to have to shift it, I think. Or at the very least, I'm going to have to actually just, like, deal with up here a bit more. Okay. So, 4 lines? 4 lines, everybody. So, doop, and doop. And that wants to be there, that wants to be there. And then there's 3 lines. I'm going to need more belts for this, jeez. And then that goes into another pair, like so. And then that goes into... I'm trying to replicate this from a schematic that I have on another window that is rotated 90 degrees. I should probably just actually be cloning this from, like, a blueprint and stuff. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. outputs like so, and these go into those, and it's all coming together. Hooray! So there we go. There's our 8x8. It's currently using the most junky of materials that we could possibly have hoped, but now we have an actual accurate vision of what it looks like. So we can just pick up all of these, and we'll have our 8x8. Will, however, take me a hot minute because I'm using a junky pickaxe. And I believe that shall be all. Hooray, yes, so it's now filtering in over to here. Grand. And then we need to get the rest of these actually installed. Oh boy. So let's just actually jump over the belt there with our undergrounds. And we actually also need to put, like, power and all sorts over here, but we're making progress, everybody. And you want to be down there. Now, actually, you want to be split off to there. With an underground going over that so that they don't actually lose one another. And then there's got a point right above it that needs to actually also split into here. Just like that. Okay. And then there's only one more, but for right now, that'll do. That'll be it for the moment. It's not being fed fully, we know that. It's not being fully balanced, but it's a good start and it's a good run. Okay, so now we need 2 inserters for each of these, so we need 12 inserters. Just gonna take us a little hot minute, and I'm gonna use that time, hopefully, to restock my ammunition. I think, yeah, 35. That'll do me. I'll be fine with 35. Right, nothing could go wrong if I had less than 35. And, alright, we need to be actually handcrafting right now, inserters to make green, so energy distribution is currently stalled. But okay, so 2 there, and the same up here. And now I need to give it power that will hopefully reach them all. Like so. And upside down, compared to the other ones. There. Okay, if we get power to here, we will now have some actual cog production, as it were, going. Assuming I can actually get it power. This is gonna be a pain in the neck. With the range of these, Alright, more of these. Let's expand our reach here and get some actual cog production going. I say cogs. Cogs, iron gear wheels, gears, there's a ton of colloquial names for them. There. Okay, that should see them working. Yep, there we go. We are already manufacturing. Perfect. At a rate of 25-ish a minute. It's not much, but it's a start, and it'll make it a lot easier for us to actually start making transport belts and all other things, so we can get the rest of it done. Yay! So for instance, just grab a bunch of these, and I'm just growing in transport belt capacity by the moment, as it were. And that's still not going to help me really make more of these, because these require the electronic circuits chiefly, but I'll get to work on that, and then we can actually have at least half of this belt over here ready to go. And with that, I'll catch you all in the next episode.